Hi guys, it's me, just Landriscina again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Columbus Day in 2025, I should be doing something a little bit differently this year. Now, we all learned in school that Columbus was some of a hero, discovering America, bringing untold fortune to Europe, finding a trade route and all that stuff to the New World and all that good stuff. But we in recent years we've learned that Columbus was a criminal, and quite possibly a war criminal, being that he destroyed Native American culture, raped many women, etc., etc. So, I'm gonna be talking about another movie, but this time it deals with Italian criminals, much like Columbus did fight for today. And that's why I'm gonna be talking about a very good Italian classic movie, Goodfellas. Now, let me just make something very clear right away, okay? This movie talks a lot about the Italian mafia, and I want to clear something up as someone that's of Italian heritage. We're not all mafia boys. Some of us are cooks too in the mafia. So we're not all mob members. But many of the things that they talk about in this movie are accurate, almost to a fault. But we'll get into it as it comes. So right now, we got the main trio of movie stars in this movie. Robert De Niro, that played Jimmy. We have Ray Liotta, that plays Henry Hill, of which the story is based off of his true story. And we have my cousin playing my uncle Darius. I swear, in every movie that he's in, Joe Pesci remembers so much of my Uncle Darius. Even to the point that his own brother, well, both of his brothers actually refer to him as such. Hello, there's Darius. Darius is being unstable again. Which, okay, let me just clarify for this again. The real Uncle Darius is not a mobster. He wishes he had that kind of power and influence, but he is not that. He does, however, exhibit many of the traits that you would associate with Joe Pesci in his performances. Being loud, being very curse heavy, being very unstable, and very prone to losing his temper, and probably shooting somebody in the foot. In this case, quite literally in this movie, but I'll get to that too. Now, my Uncle Darius has had a bad habit of doing that, shoot off his mouth when he shouldn't do so. And, yeah, pretty much every Joe Pesci performance, who is my cousin on my mother's side, by the way, often encapsulates him so well. Even in something like Gone Fishing and My Cousin Vinny, when he's not portraying a mobster, he's always portraying some aspect of my uncles. God bless him, both Joe Pesci and my uncle. So anyway, we saw this movie with Henry as a little kid, like about maybe 15, 16, something around there. And one thing that my father loves about the movie is that it portrays New York City, and in particular Brooklyn, as being like of the old time, like in the 50s, 60s, when he grew up in that area. And he banned me from being there because he believed that all people in the city are evil. So anyway, there is something I don't like about the movie, and that they portray all the people in the mafia in this movie as part of the Sicilian mafia. Not specifically the Cosa Nostra, but pretty close to it, like one of the main families and stuff. So we were led to believe that everyone in this movie that associates with the Italian mob are Sicilian, which doesn't quite add up, because my aunt is Sicilian, who is I think uncle or some other distant relative of hers was actually a mafia don in the Sicilian mafia. We don't really talk that much about that, but whatever. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that Sicilians are darker skinned than your average Italian person, which even my own complexion, I'm kind of olive skin myself, like olive skin myself. My mother was darker, but Sicilians are very dark. They're like comparing a Japanese person or a Korean person to say a Filipino or Vietnamese person, as far as that goes. So there is a little bit of a race issue with that in this movie, in that all the people in the movie are Italian. Lorraine Bracco, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, so on and so forth. Paul Savino, which plays like the big mafia don and all that. They are Italian. But the thing is that the Sicilian is inaccurate. Yet the two light skins for that. Which kind of pisses me off, because every movie that they portray Sicilians in is always too light skinned. Except for maybe the Godfather Part 2. Well, I'll talk about that when we get to it, because they're more accurate to what we expect from an authentic Sicilian experience. So that's it to that. Make of it for what you will, but I'm just saying that to get real, to get the authenticity up, you might want to have some real Sicilians in it playing their roles. It could be a thing where actual Sicilians don't want to be associated with the mafia, even in fictional form. So, because of family and because of religious ties, maybe, or whatever. But they don't want to do it for whatever reason. So anyway, you have this kid, little Henry, that does like your basic run-of-the-mill mafia stuff, park the car here, take care of this guy over here that's been shot over there, basic stuff for a little kid. Like, they got game young in there. They got integrity kids, young kids desensitize them into well, the gang violence and the possibility of being shot and stuff early on, and possibly cops too. I like the way they have the cops being paid off, not only with like part of the cigarette shipment, but also the big Paul, but again by Paul Savino. Very interesting casting choice there. You're gonna name him Paul anyway. Thank you, Martin Scorsese. You're a genius in that regard too. But in any case, they pay off the cops in 2 cartons of cigarettes, plus a little something on the side, like a couple $100 bills or whatever the case is. Or maybe it's a 20 wrapped around the budget ones. So anyway, they have them do that. They have the kid working for them and trying to get them early. And his father, very jolly man, who's like the surgical hardworking Italian father who beats the kids whenever they don't get what they want, or the kids don't meet their expectations, and they're beating them heavily because of his not going to school for a few months because of his work with the mob. And the funny thing is that the mafia took care of this very easily by taking care of the post office worker that delivers the mail to his house. And what they do is they show the guy getting beat up, getting ripped up, and putting his head into a pizza oven. Saying that if you deliver that mail to that guy's house anymore from the school, your head could go in the oven and will turn on. Now, why he didn't run to the police, I don't know. But it was kind of funny. The thought of getting a hate pizza. But anyway, I don't know, this whole thing about parking the cars is kind of fishy because they seem like expensive cars at the time, so why would they give it to a kid to park the car that doesn't even look like he has a driver's license? What happens to the kid if he scratches on the car or dents it? That can be too pretty that would happen to him. But then they chose to get the kid of a guy that got shot and all that. And one of the restaurant said, "You stupid idiot, you wasted 8 aprons on that guy, even to give his blood and stuff." So yeah, we gotta toughen the kid up a little bit. Now, next portion, this children get a little older, and then take care of they show him growing up in the mob mentality and stuff. So he also said in the beginning of the movie, ever since I was a little kid, I want to be a gangster, and I'm I'm a gangster. It's the happiest thing. It's better than being the president of the United States. So now that we have Trump in office against 2.0 round 2 of his reign, now I can easily say, yeah, we've got a president that wants to become a gangster in the worst way possible. Whether you agree with me or not, it's okay with you, but that's just what I know so far. So anyway, they have old music from the old times and stuff. But the best thing is, And Then He Kissed Me, which is where, Henry meets his wife, played by Lorraine Bracco. Let me get together, I remember. You know what? I think she's well established in this movie, in that when she becomes the psychologist in the movie, in the show, The Sopranos, she cements it more further that into these type of mafia, Italian, typical movies and whatnot. She's actually pretty good in this role, because she gets abused like he did by his own father's hand, belt, I mean. Like, she is abused, and this is what I would consider a truly toxic relationship, because she's abused by him, and, kids have to deal with it too. And the thing is that, she hates it, but yet she's still attracted to the man, to Henry Hill. And that's also the point that she likes the luxury of it. She's like a mob wife, and then she likes all the richness, all the jewelry, all the lifestyle, the cars, the cops looking the other way, and if Henry gets into trouble, like with his neighbor and all that. And, when he beat his neighbor up for trying to hand his wife and stuff. And, she likes all the luxurious furniture she can buy. All the things that, come from his disposal company or his construction company, which is the type about. People in the mob that are always in the construction company, or they're always in the waste disposal business, which is like kind of weirdly correct with meaning what you gotta get rid of the waste part of people and whatnot. So anyway, you got that. But if I was in a mutual relationship like that, I don't care how much my partner, boy or girl, would make, I'm getting the hell out of there. If she lays one hand on me, I'd be at the fucking door. I don't care how much you beg or how much you plead. If anything were to happen where I'd be physically in danger of anything, I'd be calling in a heartbeat. And I don't care what anyone says. And I would take my kids with me too, if I had them with that woman or the person. But she likes it, even though I like when she goes to one of the mistress's houses that Henry gets over the course of the movie. She says, I'm gonna knock on this door. I'm gonna let everyone know that goes into the building that wherever the apartment was, the whore that lives here, a homeworking whore. Meanwhile, the kids are there, and they're probably like, well, why is mommy so angry? What's a whore? What's this? What's that? What we here to in the morning? Why is mommy so angry at this woman? But yeah, when they when he kissed me, the whole bit, he's still romantic, being nice to her, taking her out to nice dinners. I find that real funny that he takes her out to dinner and he gets into the back entrance by using the kitchen entrance. It'd be like me going to take someone out to a gym date and saying, "Hey baby, you wanna go with me to the gym?" And so we enter in the back way through the bathroom entrance. It's kind of stupid, not really that famous. And then they get into the whole hierarchy of well, not really too much the hierarchy, but they did touch on it a little bit. A hierarchy of the mob. You got the little ones at the bottom, the one that do everything for the higher ups. And then you got the next person up. And then you got the maid men. Then you got the Don on top of that. And you got someone else that's the Don into too. All of that. So basically a made man is pretty much untouchable. Except by other made men. And Don, of course, they get high respect. I know that what's the name? Henry Hill here wants to become a made man and be untouchable. And eventually, Tommy thinks that he's gonna become a made man, which I don't know about the actual ceremony, but I would assume that it's very much similar to when a person goes to get knighted by the king or queen of England. That's kind of funny, but then he gets shot in the back of the head, which is kind of appropriate because what it was like revenge for him taking out a maid man and went in a bar, and he has like this how world there, like a bar where everyone meets, kind of like in The Sopranos, with the by the big bar. But wait, I gotta talk about that. This show one day too. Sopranos. Anyway, remember that girl's car? I kind of ruined it for her that Ralphie died in the movie, in the show. But wait, speaking of Ralphie, Bill Pignano, I will be meeting him along Lawrence Fishburne at this year's Comic-Con. So yay for me for that. I'm gonna have him repeat the line. It was a fucking horse from that show. Nothing to do with the Matrix or anything like that. It's a very cool one. And don't forget the classic woo woo woo. I think I feel the hiss in it on the back of my head. On the back of my neck from Congo. I heard that he's a nice guy. I'm another person that met him at another Comic-Con. So anyway, this is this movie's like kind of strange because the main trio here, De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta. And I've always liked them my real family because you got Joe Pesci as acts like Uncle Darius. You got Robert De Niro, which got a maid man that's more experienced that'd be my Uncle B. And you got Ray Liotta, which is kind of like the newbie learner guy trying to make his way up in the world. And that would be my father. Now, one thing I like about this is that in the movie, they show that apparently what's the name? Lauren Bracco character before she gets married to Adrian Henry. She ends up commenting that all the wives named Mary or Marie, and all the sons are named Peter or Paul, which is I go to a low degree with the men's name, because in my family at least there's gotta be at least 20 Joes in the family at least. And every Joe that I know is Italian. So make of that what you will. But the thing about Marie is I get because my mother's name is Marie, and my aunt's name is Marie too. So they'll call Marie. So I'm sure that if we go even deeper into my family tree, it'd be a hell of a lot more Maries. And if I took my dad to the old country, Italy, it'd be a shit ton more Marie. I mean, hell, I've even got 2 different meanings in my family. So that's that too. Will and Mina. So that's very accurate. And then the whole name of the movie Goodfellas is a play on the name that Italians give to each other. Like, like, you could trust him. He's a nice boy. He's a good son. He's a very trustworthy, hard-working guy. He's a good fella. And somebody said in the movie one time, forget about it. Not as much as Donnie Brasco does, but still. Like, God, that movie made that phrase into a dim joke. So anyway, they showed that, I think they said, like, I forgot what days they were, but they had specific days for the wives and the girlfriends and the more proper, relationships. And then they said that they had other days for mistresses or for escorts or whatever the case was. The illegitimate relations. And to me that's kind of funny. I would never cheat on my woman, ever, with anybody, except maybe if I watched certain movies. But that wouldn't count. I don't think that would count. The only thing that would count is physical stuff. But anyway, that's real kind of cool to do that to a woman. That's just someone that's as patient and nice as Lorraine Bracco's character. I think he also got the racism toward black people. In the case of Tommy talking about Tommy Davis Jr. and that kind of thing. I'm not gonna go into that because this is a wholesome channel. But they also have they also feature that in, believe it or not, with near in it, crap, I can't think of it now. This boy's life, something along those lines, in which he talked about, maybe it's been some two-family house or something like that, where they talk about the Irish and the Italians, something about like that, where one group looked down the other group, all that. It was a mess in the 60s and 70s for racism and that kind of thing. So anyway, as it goes on, Henry's getting more into drugs and all that, buying some, using drugs on himself. And there is one other thing too, that's very, very popular among Italian people, and that'd be food. We love our food. We love our tomato sauce. And to make a good tomato sauce, you gotta slice inside. But I like Italian sauces. And Polly makes this incredible sauce, and then they show exactly how he does it. And it's funny that they also saw him in prison doing that as a white guy in the Italian mob higher up, doing that. I don't think that this would be possible. I know there was some corruption in the police force back then, and they did some meanty toward people of mafia power and stuff, but the stuff that they were getting away with in prison, that wouldn't really happen. I think they did it to play up the whole that men have, but women were cooking and that kind of thing. And of course, eating and consuming food too. But that's kind of stupid. The fact that they had an Italian guy, making food and casual about it in the prison. I would think that they would be forced to eat the same slop as everybody else in prison. I know, for example, my cousin who's in prison right now. I don't mean still alive or not, but he within like a minimum security prison on good behavior and whatnot. So he told me that he ate the same amount of food there as everybody else. Unfortunately, I had to tell him about my mother. So he said to me, Joy said, I remember always having to play with her on the stoop when we were younger in the city. Then, even the hardened criminal like that, so sorry for my family is lost. But, since here, we got this speak. Remember before we were talking about Joe Pitt in this Sopranos? Well, this is the first cinematic acting career in his art in the cinematic universe of Christopher on The Sopranos. Yep, Michael Impoli is actually in this movie as a bartender. And first he's going slow, and then Tommy shoots off his mouth. He shoots him in the foot and trying to make him dance like they do in Western movies. And he shoots him in the foot, which everyone else is, oh, what's the matter for you? Why the hell did you do that? And now, this is real good, because like the way they portray this guy Tommy as being unstable, unhappy, a real menace to society, and real hot tempered. But it's even worse off if you get him drunk. You know, he likes to drinks. He likes to assault people with phones, with knives, beating them with his fists and stuff. And by the way, this is also a movie that Joe Pesci took the very first line. Do I amuse you? Am I a clown? Do I make you laugh? That's very funny. I'm talking to Henry because you think that he's so unstable. You think that he's really joking around, but you don't know that until he's into the vessel. I think just like with Michael and Paulie, you know, you always think that he's playing around until he shoots the shit at you, and then he's in like a big cast or whatever on his foot, and Tommy makes fun of it. He said, "Why don't you go fuck yourself?" So then Tommy pulls out his gun and shoots the guy right in the face, or right in the chest area. It's like, you don't see that the guy that's drunk already and is as volatile as Tommy is. Especially when it's like Michael Darius. But let's see here, yeah, don't make a big deal of that. What I do, he made someone the guy did himself. Good, get the asshole a time in the chest with the gun. You didn't have to do it. So we shoot in the air to get this up, or apologize to you, or you could shot him in the ankle, or there could have been a million ways to do this, other than just shooting him and kill him. And yeah, he said at the end, because he got shot in the back of the head, he shoots another guy, rigs, trucks, rigs, something like that, in the back of the head. A black guy gets shot in the head. And one of the other guys is shot in the head too. A lot of gunshots. This is not a fucking movie for the weak-hearted, because there's a lot of death, a lot of drugs. There's a guy in a wheelchair gets arrested, and everything else. So this movie's very good. It's very visceral and very in your face type of thing. Life in the movie is not easy. I wouldn't for anybody except the people in the movies. But there's one guy, Capone, who has big eyebrows, and I think he buys after like he gives like a big heist at the airport. I think it's Lagrange heist, like the biggest heist in history. And then the dealer says, don't spend it on anything. You know, don't buy anything big. Don't draw attention to yourself. You know, one of the guys, Capone, buys his wife a $20,000 mini coat, which is a nice coat by the way, but De Niro takes it off the woman and said, I told you I'm not to buy anything. Go return it right now. And he took the guy at a bar. And then he also takes one of the guys and tell him, look, listen, I want you to go return the car back. We found it. I don't want anyone to buy anything except for Henry over here. He can buy it for whatever he wants, which is kind of funny. But he buys them. He buys them. He buys his wife a diamond earring and a live vest necklace, gifts, gifts, and that's funny. He also beat up a guy beforehand, before they got married and stuff. And she should have known right away that he was connected to the mafia because of all the things that he was getting with gifts and stuff, like overly giving gifts and stuff to them. Like overcompensating for the money that they would get. And they would always ask, like, what do you do and stuff like that. And he wouldn't tell them. And then there was the part where she had the gun to his face. And I went out. Even though she said in the voiceover that I don't want out. I was too attracted to the guy. I like his money, I like his power. So that I was like, which I said, if I were in a relationship like that, I would get out of there. I don't care who it is, I would get my fucking shit out of there and take my kids with me. So anyway, I should point out that was the first scene I saw in this movie tonight. Because this movie has like a double disc. But I thought that this disc would be like like every other movie I have like this, where it'd be like one movie, one side would be like widescreen and the other one would be full screen. So when I put it in, it was like, did I miss something here? Why did they have that scene in the beginning of this movie? And then I realized that it's the double disc because the movie's so long, it's like 2.5 hours of fun. So where I say, couldn't they just put this on one DVD, one side of the disc, and that'd be the end of it? But guess what? I guess they went and milked that format for all it's worth. So anyway, Henry Hill picks up another girlfriend. This one, the girl from Beethoven's second, the bad girl in the movie. But she's into drugs too. And he's into romancing him. Because of that, there is no actual love in it, just sex and drugs. Blue. But in the movie, the feds are getting into his business. And one thing that his wife does that I don't like is that she takes the many drugs and she flushes it down the drain, doesn't portable. To which when he gets out of prison and he wants a drug money back, he says, no, I got rid of it. He says, well, why did you do that? And you think that he's about to beat her up again. But, says, well, why did you do that? They went on drugs. At this point, he's getting all paranoid, and the cops are watching him, and and all mafia friends over there being very cautious with him, saying that he might become a rat. Now, in the beginning of the movie, we see that there's two rules to follow in the mafia. Number one is that don't become a rat and steal on your other compatriots. Now, he eventually does become a rat, and the other guy do gets this time, and a bone guy, when the guy with the car at the bar, he died with his wife. I don't know what that was about, but the wife died too. And of course, Tommy died. And, Gabon died in the meat locker. They found him in a meat delivery van. He had they had a weak guy that kept bothering Polly, and then Jimmy from money that they owed him back. And he died with a screwdriver in his head by Tommy. That was pretty funny. And well, so there, we had over there being very cautious around Henry, and they were trying to bully up his wife too, by sending her into like a alleyway, something, but she knew it was a trap and went back to Henry. So apparently they all squealed on the mafia, on Polly, on Jimmy, all the other people, and they went in the witness protection program, which is kind of foreshadowing in this movie, because whenever they were talking about like drugs and stuff, they would always do narration like that during the part where she held the gun to Henry's head. That the narration went under her own voice, kind of like she was telling the cops what went on. Very clever, actually. You keep clicking out in a monologue type of thing, but no, with her confessing to the cops the whole story. Same with Henry, he would do that too. Let's see what there. It's about 3 decades, 30 years of being in the mafia. So figure from 55 that's when it started to 85 when I was born. This guy Henry Hill did mafia work for 30 years before he finally quit and moved to some other location in the country. So yeah, I like this movie, but could also read this movie as what I'm doing it is a tribute to Master Yoda, passed away this year. R.I.P. Mr. Ridley, because he obviously voiced a voice of the Tommy Ridley from Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I should wish that he would have been on more child-friendly stuff like SpongeBob. That would have been funny. Wow. Or like if he did a voice of in the cartoon short, the Goodfellas, obviously with a pull on the Goodfellas with Pesto and somebody played Jimmy, like the nearest door, and then we had the cop pigeon, a parody of one of Brendo's, we got video clip Corleone. Also, they used the word pursuit, which is the more timely panther than pursuit, or something like that. And let's see, yeah, who would have thought that as the main trio of this movie, Ray Liotta, he might be the youngest one there, would be the first to die, or the first to leave it. Nobody would have predicted that. But he's with my mom right now. And up to you well there. Yeah. I think the kids are with the father now, with his wife, and they're living together wherever they are. Happy. Like Michael DeSantis and Christopher 5. On see here, man, this movie's good. It's real good. It might be even good to less good. But I thank you for watching my little review of the Goodfellas. I did this for Columbus Day in 2025. I don't know where my flag is submit my tiny heritage, but just me weaving it around like that. I took my happy feet silver pool because this movie is awesome. It's one of the de facto movies for the mafia. If you ever want to watch a movie about the mafia, it's not like a documentary or something by the History Channel. This is definitely a movie to watch. If you got 2.5 hours worth of time to kill, literally. But if you like what you see here, and you want to see more of my stuff on my channel, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future ideas and suggestions by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you want, you can always follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer it at Pete Malcolm Pro. Also, you can reach me at my email is at jjviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I slew all three of the main actors in this one. Lorraine Bracco, Paul Savino, unfortunately it did as well, and No, I just enjoyed this movie, even though the actors are pretty much typecast at this point. Paul Savino, he plays the mafia guy for most of his movies anyway. Then De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Ray Liotta play the tough guy in every movie he's in. But this one portrays him as a rook guy, and they climb up to be powerful, kind of like Vice City, where nobody can get in this one. And let's see here, you got the woman being completely clueless as to where the husbands get all that money and fame from. And it's just really, really awesome. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Sayonara, arrivederci. See you real soon. To all you girls and guys in Ninjaland, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.